Hi, I'm Arash, and welcome back to Grounded and Galactic. This is the second episode of our frequency series. So, have you ever looked at a ceiling fan and realized it might completely change how you think about reality? So, today we're going to use one of the simplest objects in your house to explore one of the biggest ideas in science and philosophy. Because the way a ceiling fan behaves might tell us something profound about frequency and perception. So let's start with something very simple. Frequency is nothing mysterious. Frequency simply means how many times something repeats over a period of time. So for a rotating object, one complete revolution will equal one cycle. And if that object completes one revolution every second, its frequency is 1 hertz. 1 hertz simply means one cycle per second. So now let's slowly increase the frequency. Watch what happens. Nothing about the fan changes, only its speed. At these lower frequencies, our eyes can easily separate each blade. We perceive 3 individual objects. But as the frequency increases, the blades begin to blur. Our visual systems start struggling to separate one blade from the other. Now, something interesting happens. The fan hasn't changed, the blades haven't disappeared, yet our perception has. 3 blades begin to look like one continuous disc. Increase the fan speed even further, and eventually the blades will almost disappear completely. But have they gone anywhere? They are still there. They're simply moving at a frequency our visual system can't actually resolve. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. If we introduce a strobe light flashing at just the right frequency, the blades suddenly appear frozen. Why? Because we've changed the way we're sampling the motion. Think about an old FM radio. Every station is broadcasting all the time. Right now, the music's already there, the news is already there, the sports commentary is already there, but you only hear the station, and that's the station you tune to. Changing the dial doesn't create the broadcast, it simply changes which broadcast you can receive. Now, here's an interesting philosophical question. Could consciousness work in a similar way, right? This isn't established science, but it is an intriguing possibility. If reality contains information existing beyond what our senses naturally detect, then perhaps perception isn't about everything that exists, but everything we're capable of tuning into or perceiving. After all, our eyes already only detect a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic frequency or spectrum. Most of reality is literally invisible to us. Throughout history, people have reported seeing apparitions, strange lights, translucent figures, and unidentified aerial phenomena, or UFOs. Researchers such as Preston Dennett have documented thousands of reports of extraterrestrial encounters describing remarkably similar characteristics. That doesn't automatically explain what people experienced, but it raises an interesting question. If something exists outside our ordinary perception bandwidth, what might it actually look like? Blurred, transparent, intermittent, almost like a ceiling fan, spinning faster than our eyes can comfortably resolve. So the ceiling fan teaches us something profound. Reality doesn't necessarily change. Sometimes our perception does. Perhaps frequency isn't just something that describes sound, electricity, or motion. Perhaps frequency is one of the deepest languages through which reality itself is organized. As always, question everything, act in good intentions, and I'm Arash, and this is Grounded and Galactic. and I'll see you next episode. Namaste.